Recently, an amazing Spider-Man film released in theaters, and no, we aren't talking about TASM 3, but Across the Spider-Verse. I saw it and I loved it, easily falling into my top 5 Spider-Man films, and ideally, I'd like to do a live discussion with you all soon. Throughout the film, 250 Spider characters were featured, with some playing a more important role than others, and a few random additions, and of course a few recognizable faces. Which has got me thinking, from each character featured in Across the Spider-Verse, which could we expect to have their costumes featured in Marvel Spider-Man 2? I'm not talking about the straight up comic adaptation or Insomniac's own take on the design, but their costume featured in game that looks exactly like it was ripped from the film. This video will contain spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse, so if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest watching this video after, but if that doesn't bother you, by all means stick around. While watching the film, we do know that there was a core group of new additions helping out Miles and Gwen, with 3 others going against the characters, giving them standout roles amongst each character. But what's important to note is that Miles Morales featured a new suit in the film, so if history repeats itself, then we should at least expect Miles' new suit from the film to be featured in the game, and I have a previous video on when I think we could use said suit. With that suit being featured, I also think it would be interesting to add a damage version scene at the end of the film just to change things up. Maybe if suit damage is a thing come next game, then we won't need the variant though. An interesting thing too is that we did get the Into the Spider-Verse suit in Spider-Man PS4, but it was just a standardized version, so if Insomniac does decide to add another Peter B. Parker design, then they could do the sweats from the first film or even his bathrobe look from this film. With the 2 basic choices out of the way, during the film we do follow Spider-Man India, Spider-Punk, and 2 quote-unquote villains, 2099 and the Scarlet Spider. 3 of these designs have been featured in Insomniac games, but aside from the film featuring their own version of the design, Insomniac could include the animation style for these suits, differentiating themselves from the already versions in the game. Basically what I'm trying to say is they can include the classic versions and the movie versions like we've seen with multiple suits, especially with the animation style. For the non-Peter and Miles characters, there comes the question of which costumes will belong to which character if they're included in the game, and while I personally don't care which character wears which suit, you could divide them for each character or give all the Spider-Verse suits to Miles. Even at the end of the film, we see Spider-Man Noir, and we didn't get his Spider-Verse variant in the first game, so basically I think we will see the core character designs featured in the film appear in the game, and maybe a few others depending on what they choose to include. Modding has really set the bar high for suits this fall, and I think including some of the Spider-Verse characters straight from the film would be a step in the right direction. So let me know what you all think. Which suits from Across the Spider-Verse do you think will be in the game? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, hit that like button, and I will see you guys again in my next video.